Hello, Marvel Legends, and welcome to the Legends Legacy Review. And today we have, I think, what might be our final unboxing for 2020. Whew! Boy, it's been a long year. I remember, still unpackaging the Fantastic Four Super Skrull wave, in January or whatever. But now we have, fresh from Comics and Cocktails, the Black Cat and Get Me Spider-Man! I think I do a pretty good JJ. I can't do female voices, so hey, I'm the Black Cat. No, that's just creepy. So, Black Cat, J. Jonah Jameson. What are we gonna? I'm a bit discombobulated. I've got two packages. What am I gonna open first? I'm gonna put Black Cat to one side. Actually, I wanna take a look at JJ because is he the first super civilian figure? I think he is. Stop me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. Phil, is this the first figure that is completely non-superpowered, non-special agent? I mean, I know that we have lots of human characters who are still superheroes, but is JJ the first Marvel Legend that is just a normal civilian human being? That's what I'm intrigued to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So yeah, hit me up in the comments if you can think of another completely civilian character who is in no way superpowered. But I think this might be the first one. And what an iconic one to get. I think the only one more iconic would be... Actually, no, I was going to say Aunt May, but no, I think JJ is more sort of classic. I don't mean, obviously Aunt May's been around just as long, but JJ, he's just so intrinsic to, Spider-Man's story and performance. I know, Aunt May is too, but I don't... Do I want an Aunt May figure? Probably, actually. An Aunt May and Uncle Ben 2-pack? Yeah, I'd buy that. Look at that. Still managed to maintain the integrity of the box, pretty much. And here is J. Jonah Jameson in his plastic prison. There you go, in his plastic carbonite. And he looks cool. He looks straight out of the 60s. And that's what we want. Get that plastic crack. There we go. And here is J. Jonah Jameson out of the packaging. And, there's not much new here, but what is here has been put together pretty well. So obviously, it's the same J. Jonah Jameson head as we have on the chameleon head over here. And this is good because now I get to diversify a little bit. But what is nice is actually just the color scheme. I mean, this is pure 1960s. This is absolute Lee Ditko Spider-Man with the waistcoat. And I love the fact that his tie is actually crooked off to the side. He is just blundering through the office, being like, Betty Brad, who let Parker in here? Blah, blah, blah. So that's actually a really fun representation of Jameson. I'm not going to linger too much on this figure because you're busy people. You've got places to go and people to see. And, this is not too much kind of wax lyrical about. It's just a regular kind of figure. You can see, if I take Jameson off his perch here, the heads are identical, which is kind of a shame. It would have been nice if we actually had a different version, a different look of JJ, but they're not. They're the JJ twins. They're the JJ bros right there. But, it's fine. At first, I was thinking, okay, this is great. Now I have a retro Jameson to go on my retro Spider-Man shelf, and I have a modern Jameson to go on my modern Jameson shelf, because the character of Jameson has actually changed a lot over the recent years. His father, they always kind of skew around with the ages of people. Jameson's father married Aunt May at one point, so Peter and Jameson were brothers-in-law, or stepbrothers. Yeah, that's it, stepbrothers. But you think wait, how can they be brothers? Does a chronology work there? But Jameson seems to be is he 40? Is he 50? Is he 60? It's very hard to gauge. I think maybe he's supposed to be younger than he's been portrayed, or we expect him to be. But either way, he is the curmudgeonly Jameson, and he's well represented in both these figures. But yes, the question is, do I want a modern Jameson when what I can have for this body is finally a use for my hammerhead? head. And I think that's the direction I'm going to go in, because while it's fun to have a modern Jameson, it's even more fun to have a completely different figure. And the thing is, this claw body that I was using is quite a bulky body. It's quite a thick body, and I always thought it was a little too thick for Jameson. So we put Hammerhead on here, and all of a sudden, that's not a bad gangster look there. And I even have a slightly pimpin' gold machine gun, which I don't know who that was originally from. It's not a Marvel Legend, I don't think. But there you go. Now I have Hammerhead and JJ. And the only problem with both these figures is these damn suit bodies with these shoes that just do not stand up. They are a nightmare to keep standing. So like I had JJ on the Spinatron 5000. I'm not going to put him back because I had this JJ on there, and it was just like, no. It was going to be another one of those sessions where it's like, this dude just ain't going to stand. So yeah, I'm very happy with this JJ. It's not like spectacular. He's not going to be in like my top 10 figures or whatever, because it's just a lot of reuse. It's a reused head, and more to the point, it's a civilian character, which I know why we don't get many more of these. I know why it's going to be tough to do like a Foggy Nelson or something, because there's not a huge demand. Like the demand is there. Like I said, I'd buy an Aunt May and Uncle Ben, but it's not desperate. It's not essential. So this is a fun one to have, and it was an easy one for Hasbro to do. They've got, you know, the vast majority of the material there. They just needed to paint it up and slap it out there. But also we have, it's softer than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be like hard plastic. We have the Daily Bugle, and this is just fantastic. The love and care and attention that has gone into this. You've got because again, I'm sure people have seen, these are actual Marvel Legends on here. These aren't like comic book pictures or movie pictures. These are actual pictures of Marvel Legends, and that's so cool. And they've wrapped it up really well with the current releases. You've got a pencil sketch of Cyborg Spider-Man there. Excuse me, you've got the retro Electro, an article about him, and it's not even, they haven't even cheaped out. It's proper. Can I focus? Yeah, it's proper writing on here. Like you can actually read the articles, so that's great. It's a shame that like it's kind of like it's perfectly flat, because no one reads like a perfectly flat newspaper. A crumpled newspaper would have been nice, but still, this is really nice. Of course, because it's so thin. It's going to be difficult for characters to hold it, because you need gripping fingers that like literally gripping tight. But still, that's a really nice touch. I might keep this in its packet just to keep it sort of secure, because I imagine in a few years' time when people are selling Jamesons, the paper might be a hard thing to find like intact. So keep hold of that. All right, folks. Now we have Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. This is one I've been quite looking forward to. And this is one that's been like, the subject of much debate. I'm looking for my knife. Where did I put my knife? There it is. So, found the knife. The subject of much debate, because people are like, this is the Black Cat from the animated series. This is the first time they've done an animated series figure, like proper. And other people are like, well, actually, this is the design from this Black Cat's, limited series in the 90s. And, there's been back and forth, and, it's been a whole thing. Probably the biggest talking point of 2020, I would say. But no, I think it's both. This is the look that she did have in the animated series, and also it is the look that she was sporting in her 90s. And was it meant to be ongoing? I mean, there are so many series that were meant to be ongoing but then cancelled after a few issues. That might have been one. Or, in fairness, it might have been, as it always was, an intended limited series. Either way, it's not the Mark Bagley super plunging neckline that she got in the Spider Slayers storyline, which, quite frankly, I'd have been down for. I got no problem with that. But no, we're being a little bit more modest, which is fine. I'm all right with that. So let's get Black Cat out of her plastic prison. There we go. Put the packaging there. Throw this little thing away, and here she is with the whip falling out in her plastic carbonite. Let's get that crack. Ooh, that felt good. And here is Felicia Hardy out of the packaging. And first of all, like the most important thing, I think, above and beyond, is just the face sculpt. The face sculpt is an excellent improvement on what we've had before. As far as the classic Black Cat is concerned. The classic Black Cat was like the first figure where I lamented, she's kind of got a mannequin sort of look to her. This figure has a little bit more going on in her face, but honestly, not a huge amount. You can still see that like it's quite a plain Jane expression. I wouldn't call it mannequin though. It's just more neutral. I'd call it a neutral expression. What is nice is actually the matte black, the matte finish of her costume, I think is lovely. It's not too plasticky shiny. It's actually kind of a deep sort of black, which I think works really, really well. That's a nice finish to it. And of course, she's got the flat shoes as opposed to the classic Black Cat who has the heels, which make her so difficult to stand. And actually, the shoes, besides that, they are quite different. This one has the blue wash to her fur, which I think I prefer the plain white. The blue wash, I always felt it was like an old granny kind of blue rinse kind of thing. I'm like, you don't really want that for your sort of, you know, sexy thief Black Cat. I like the whip. The whip is, again, it's identical to what came before, except that now it's got a white rope to it. And the white, black or white, I don't think it makes a huge difference. I will happily take the white just because it is different. And, you know, it's nice to just mix things up a little bit. I'm going to try and put this in her hand. I like the fact that she has, you know, little claws, actual cat claws on her gloves. I think that's a really nice touch. So it suits. But again, it is a shame that she is just, even though it's not a mannequin look, it's such a plain, neutral expression. I would love to have more of a sort of a vibrant, smiling, like this. This is a great Black Cat face. I think this still does stand alone as the best Black Cat look. Not for the body costume. This costume is fine, but there's not much going on there. But this face, an actual smile. Oh my goodness, a smiling character. Look, you can do it. The eyes look vibrant. The smile looks great. That's really cool. But this figure, again, it's still, I really like the body sculpt. I think it's excellent. It looks really nice. I like her collar. It's quite hidden, but she's got the spiked collar under there, which adds some kind of, you know, dynamism to it. But also one touch I really like is we got the little cat. We got the little pussy cat here. This is quite adorable. I would imagine her cat probably has a name, but I don't know what her cat's name is, or if Black Cat. I mean, I've been reading Spider-Man for years, but I don't know. Like, does she have just one cat that has a specific name and identity, or is it just a random cat? Either way, that's really fun, and it sits quite well, sort of playing with its, you know, imaginary ball of string. I guess I don't know if you can sort of perch it. I'm gonna play around. And see if you can perch it on her, because that would be kind of fun to do. But speaking of kind of fun to do, one thing I wanted to do was try and do a head swap with these two, which I've seen people have done, and I would also like to do it because, that was close. Spiky collar is a separate piece, which again, it's nice. It's nice having separate pieces that aren't molded. So I would like to see if we can have the better looking head on the bustier body. Because the modern looking Black Cat, that head doesn't fit this body at all. And this one actually does really well. It's not perfect. The hair slightly gets in the way, but if you're looking at it from a straight on angle, I think that works really well. I think just mentally, I know that it's the wrong head and it doesn't quite go, so I probably wouldn't keep it like this, but it's kind of fun to have that option. And I'm all for the big boob cleavage like look. It's comic books. It's fun, you know. That's just a cool look for comics. I think comics should be that kind of larger than life, kind of aspirational kind of look. That was an editorial I was thinking of doing recently. Like, you know, is it good or bad or right or wrong that, you know, comic figures look the way that they do? I would take the pro argument there. But it's difficult to do, you know, pieces that have your sort of political kind of ideas come out, because you want this to be kind of approachable for everyone. And I don't want to come off as a dick. But we'll see. You know, maybe maybe I do anyway. So why fight it? I don't know. But either way, these figures are really, really good fun. I'm sitting in the sun right now, and I'm sweating bullets, which is ridiculous. But let me just put Black Cat back on her original body here, which I will keep it as the original body, because yeah, just a bit of continuity there. But oh, got to get her collar sitting nice and straight. There we go. But yeah, it's kind of a shame. Her collar gets a little bit lost. It's kind of hard to see it under her neck, which is a shame because it's a nice piece. But at least, thank goodness, she has flat shoes now, so she can look how easy that was. She just stood up instantly. So perfect. So yeah, Black Cat and J. Jonah Jameson, probably my two final figures for 2020, and not a bad way to round out the year. But of course, the year is not over, and we still have a whole lot of model behavior to keep displaying. So don't you worry. I'm right up until the end of the year, we are going to have more features, stories, articles, videos, this, that, and the other. It's going to be a fun ride into 2021, and I cannot wait to get there. In the meantime, guys, enjoy the data blast coming up. All the best stuff that I found on Instagram, and of course the names of the creators are on there as well, so go check them out and give them a follow. And until next time, folks, keep displaying model behavior.